I wasn't really planning on doing like a disclaimer to start off this video, but I feel like it needs one. So this wasn't really the video that I was planning on making. This was just supposed to be a fun day in the life. Basically, today's vlog was about how it's St. Patrick's Day and how it's Patrick's name day and how we do something fun and we have cake and we have a party and it's just a fun time. That is what today's vlog was supposed to be about. In reality, today's vlog is a little bit more serious than that. Instead, the vlog that you are going to see today starts out with all that fun because I am going to do the same day in the life vlog that I started out with. But midway through the day, things got pretty serious and I had my first ever kid brought home in the back of a police cruiser. Well, I was making an early dinner today and while Paul was downstairs taking a nap because he had worked until 3 in the morning and he's gonna have to work tonight too, Maggie managed to get out through the front door. We're not exactly sure how it happened. We think that the double cylinder lock had only turned halfway so that it looked like it locked and it felt like it locked, but it wasn't actually locked. And when Maggie pulled hard enough on it while I was making lunch after being outside playing in the backyard, the door just gave and the door opened. That's what we can see on the security cameras. Only this time I did not feel my phone vibrate in my pocket telling me that someone had gone out the front door. And so she had, instead of a 30-second head start this time, which is what she had when I felt the phone vibrate in my pocket last time, this time she had a 7-minute head start on me. She had a 7-minute head start from the time that she went out the front door until I had called Paul to wake him up and tell him that dinner was ready and that he needed to come up so that we could get everyone ready for dinner. He came upstairs, and when he came upstairs he saw that our front door was wide open. Thankfully, Tessie had insisted beforehand on being put in her high chair because she was hungry and she was ready for dinner. And when she's in that mood, she'll just keep climbing into her high chair over and over and again. So that's the one thing I'm grateful for, because Maggie left that door wide open. Otherwise, Tessie probably would have followed her out there and things could have been much worse than they are. I didn't vlog until I knew Maggie was safe, flew with a police officer from the 911 dispatcher, and that was when I got into the car with Paul and I started recording on my phone where we were going in the car. And then I stopped before we got to the police officer and I didn't record again until we got back home. But our security cameras caught a lot of what happened, and so you're gonna see a lot of that. And really you're gonna see more than what we knew until we got home and sat down and watched the security footage and saw how she had gotten out and exactly what went down on this very memorable St. Patrick's Day. Eloping is really, really scary. It is the only part about Maggie's brain that I just wish I could change her drive to run. And I know people will probably say this, have we tried to run her? Have we tried to let her get that out? And we have. I used to take her to a track to let her run and to try to run her, and it made absolutely no difference whatsoever. Because yeah, we thought about that. She loves to run. We thought maybe if we run her enough, but it's basically like she can never run enough. Anyways, here's our day. Where are you? Hi.
How did you get right here?
I was feeding the dog.
Let me get myself. Oh, no.
Mom, I'm gonna pinch you.
I'm gonna put on some green.
Do green and blue for the cake frosting. Mom.
Uh-oh. Well, you're the one who's gonna get to pick.
Okay. I'm the one who's green and blue. Yeah.
What is? Oh, it's a map. Good.
To get back home.
Oh.
So navigate, that's your job.
I want green and blue.
Maggie needs help then.
Maggie, get shoes.
Take a picture.
Okay, I did.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a spark.
Wait, I said that you were, who did I say you were last night. I said you were Belle, and you said Simba.
Watermelon?
Huh? Almost there?
Cheeseburger bear? Today's St. Patrick's Day. My name's Patrick.
So it's your name day, right?
Yeah, it's my name day.
And St. Patrick is your namesake.
Yeah, and after St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. James is ready for St. James's Day, right?
I don't even know what that day is.
Summer.
And this summer, I want to be green too.
So they're still a little bit sick.
Yeah.
That was kind of killing me. Got to yell at a lot of people last night. They were actually a pretty good crowd, so that was nice.
I bet you're gonna get to yell at more people today.
Yes, I imagine.
Are you regretting not spending all day? What time did they want you to come in this morning? You got home at like...
They opened at 6, and Cam said he was having me come in early, and I was like, wait, what? He's like, I was making a schedule, I just kind of filled you in just to make it look more complete. I'm like,
They shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy.
We had two little troublemakers at Mass today. Hi. She was just very loving and very friendly, and the cry room was extremely crowded, like overflowing with people. It was incredibly crowded. The kids weren't even back from Sunday school for the little kids, so it was going to get even more crowded. And so when some people started to, we'll say tantrum, Tessie, and have some problems, me and the girls came out to the car. We made it for close to 40 minutes. So now we're watching a St. Patrick's DVD in the car while the other kids and Paul are in there for the rest of Mass. This happens sometimes. If it hadn't been so crowded, I don't think we would have had a problem at all. I think it was like the crush of people in there that really made it impossible for our family, well, certain members of our family to be in there, because it was overwhelming in there. 3 down, 2 still left. Those 2 better make it through. We're having a rough Mass today. Apparently we're having an emotional day, huh?
Yeah, and Mom just swapped her phone.
And Mom just dropped her phone. But you're the superhero who can save it, right?
Yep.
Are you super? Whoa. You got it. Good job, buddy. Here, I'm gonna put it over here now.
Yep, that's a good.
You're sitting up with Mama in the front. My
I
boy.
did the same for what you did. And I did the same for what you did.
Is your foot up on the dashboard with my foot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
And guess what I made?
You made a map.
Yeah.
Is that gonna tell us how to get home?
Yep.
Is it the best?
Lisa,
You love us.
make money?
How do you make money?
Yeah.
What do
I
you-
see money. Why didn't your car?
I don't think you get money for sitting in that seat.
How?
I don't think you do.
Now you put one in my piggy bank.
One. You can put 1 in your piggy
I
bank.
got the police one like my other police one that Nanny gave me.
The penny?
Yeah.
It's called a penny.
Bien.
Huh?
And remember Nan gave
Abby-
me one. Bien. And
Abby?
remember Nan gave me one.
Did she?
Yeah.
What language does Maggie speak?
Mermaid.
Mermaid?
And I speak
What do you speak?
human.
Very cool.
And Tessie speaks baby.
Tessie speaks baby.
Yeah.
Very
And the
interesting.
car speaks. What does it speak?
Does it speak
again?
car? What do you think Tessie's gonna speak when she grows up, though?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Maybe like a mermaid.
Maybe like a mermaid?
And just stealing your fun.
Yeah.
Whoa, what is this part of? Guys.
Breezy we go.
Yeah?
Give me pop.
Cammy and Paul. Yes, Maggie? Maggie Rose?
Cammy and Paul.
Maggie Rose?
Cammy likes
Cammy likes what?
Restaurant?
Restaurants?
Paul likes
Sorry, we don't pay attention to what boys like.
Paul likes
Candy!
How about Sadie likes
Candy cane.
candy canes
And ice cream.
and ice cream.
Tessie likes
Tessie likes. Yesterday Maggie was sitting down and all of a sudden I heard her talking about Sadie and I said Sadie likes.
go left on that.
Yeah, I think so. From here we do. I said Sadie likes and she said basketball. So I said Maggie likes to swim and she said and to run. So then I decided to try Tessie and I said Tessie likes and Maggie said waffles and pancakes. And so I said Mommy likes and Maggie said iced tea. However, she would not answer about any of the boys. She would only say waffles for all of the boys.
Maggie, Daddy likes
Nothing.
Sadie, not you. Maggie, Daddy likes.
He's been trying.
Why don't you ask?
Maggie,
Nothing.
what does Daddy likes?
Patrick likes candy!
Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time.
Jum jum.
Who's that baby?
Tessie.
Are you cuddling her? Did Tessie need some cuddles? Tessie climbed up in her chair all by herself. Were you giving her kisses?
Una.
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 Oh man, it was muddy. Someone did a little mud painting here. Who did mud painting on my window, Maggie? It was not Una. Thank you for letting me in. So I'm heading into this regularly scheduled vlog post with an update I wasn't really expecting to make, and I'm just thankful that St. Patrick's Day isn't a day that has been forever transformed for our family, because it really was close today. So we came home from Mass and the kids were all playing outside. Well, not all. Tessie wanted to sit in her high chair and wait for lunch because she was hungry, and when she's hungry all she can do is sit in her high chair and she doesn't really want to do anything else. Maggie had been outside playing. She took her shoes out while she was out. She took her shoes off while she was outside and was sort of playing on the porch without her shoes on. And she came inside and the other kids were all still outside playing. And I gave Maggie some popcorn because she doesn't like potato chips. She only likes corn chips. And the last time I saw Maggie, she was eating, well, she was not eating the popcorn. She was standing next to the popcorn, thinking about eating it at the dining room table. And she had been kissing and cuddling Tessie a few minutes earlier. And I finished making lunch, which was not really much of making lunch. I mean, the pizzas just had to finish cooking because it's Patrick's name day today. That's the saint that the kids are named after, St. Patrick's Day, so today is his name day. We don't celebrate name days in like a huge way, but he got to pick out a cake and he got to pick out what we were having for lunch. He wanted pizza. So we were having pizza. I pulled out the pizzas that we were having and I called down to Paul, who had to work last night until like 2 a.m. He has to work tonight again before he goes to work tomorrow. And so I called down to Paul and I asked him to come up for lunch because he told me he was going to take a nap before lunch since he has to work again tonight. And he came upstairs and he said, "Why is the door open?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And even as I said, "What do you mean?" I knew there was only one thing that he could mean, because there's only one door that he would ask, "Why is it open?" So I raced out of the kitchen. By then I think it's been 5 minutes. It's actually been 7 minutes since I've seen Maggie at this point. I raced out and I ran out the front door and I looked both ways. And that's, for me, always been the worst moment, realizing that she is missing when she's gotten away. I looked to the right and I looked to the left. Just nothing. She was gone. And it's like this empty feeling, because I mean, the world's so big. Where do you even start to look? There's 1,000 directions. She could have gone anyway. It's so open. There's so many fields. Which way did she go? But I started running the way we always go, on the roads that we always go, because it just made more sense, I guess, the most sense, that she would go the ways that we usually go. And so I start running that way. And as I'm running, I'm dialing 911. I yelled back to Paul, get the car. And Sadie, and he's telling Sadie to watch the other kids. I start running, and as I'm running and I'm calling 911, and the dispatcher gets on the phone, and I tell her our address. And when I say our town, she said, you're calling about the 5-year-old who's running down, and she gives me the crossroad that's like a quarter mile from our house. And I said, yeah. And she says, we already know, we have police on the way, and hangs up. And I'm like, or I think I probably said, okay. I'm like, okay. And she's like, bye, and hangs up. And I'm like, she thought I was calling to report it. Well, I mean, I was calling to report it, but not in the same way as everybody else. And so I keep running, and I call back. And I'm also realizing what incredibly bad shape I'm in right now. It doesn't help that I'm sick and I have this cough. So I call back, and I said, still running, and they said, hi, I just called. And I could tell that the voice was the same operator. I'm calling about the child who's missing. I am her mother. And you need to know, she is autistic. And she's 8 years old. She's autistic. She is very barely verbal. And her name is Maggie. And she's like, okay, wait. And so then she starts asking me all these questions about her for the police officer. And I keep asking, do they have her? Do they have her? Do they have her? And at first they don't have her. She can't tell me where they're looking. She can tell me about where they're looking, but she can't tell me where they are. And then she says, and then by the time I get to the end of the road, they tell me, I get cut off. I call back because there's like a dead zone between our house and the road. And so I call back again, and I get a different dispatcher. And by then she says, I can't tell you for sure, but I believe that the police have her, and she's near the highway. Near the highway is kind of an understatement. She said, I'm not totally sure. And then a car slows down, because this woman in a car sees me, and she sees me panicking, and she pulls over and she tells me exactly where they are. And she says that the police have her. And I just take off running. Well, I'm about to take off running, and Paul pulls up, and I jump in the car with Paul, and we drive down there. And we can see the police car from the top of the bridge. And we can see that the police car is at the bottom of the on-ramp, like by the highway. And so we get down there, and there's Maggie, and she's in the back of the police car, and it is like the best thing. It is probably the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life, seeing her in the back of that police car. And we talk with the cop. He says he'll drive her home, and he'll meet us at our house, because we're like on the on-ramp, and cars are going by, and it's like this corkscrew turn, so it's not really the safest place to move a kid over or to even be standing. At that point, I turn around and try to run home, because I know that for them to all turn around, they're gonna have to drive like 12 miles, and I just want to get home as fast as I can, because I know Sadie is good to watch the kids for a little bit, but I don't really also want to leave them there by themselves. She's about to turn 11, but still. And this is an emergency situation, but still, she is a super responsible 11-year-old. She's going to be the best babysitter in the world when she's old enough. But so I turned around and I ran home, and I got there. Basically, it took me about 10 minutes to get home. I got there basically the exact same time they got there. I could have spared myself this, not being able to breathe and feeling like I'm dying, and just driven back in the car with Paul. But I thought it would be faster. Obviously, I was not faster than them driving 12 miles. So we talked to him for a while, and he gave him our information, her information, and we talked to him. We told him all the security measures. When we told him what house we lived in, he was like the one with all the security cameras on it, and we told him, yeah, we told him about the locks we have on our doors, and he said that he wished he had some advice for us. Oh, the kind of cool part was that he knew who she was when he picked her up. And the reason that he knew who she was because of those flyers that we put out. He said that when he saw her, he thought about the flyers because it was not that long ago. He said, first he said it was a couple days ago, and then he goes, well, it was a little longer than that. He'd been looking at the flyer of her and reading it, and so when he saw her, he knew who she was. And so, yeah, the flyer did exactly what it was supposed to. And he asked how many times she'd gotten out, and we said 2 times since she's lived here, and we've lived here for almost 3 years now, which, I mean, that's not great, but when you think that she tries to get out constantly and she tries to elope constantly, I guess it's not horrible. It is horrible. It is horrible that she's gotten out twice, but it's also kind of remarkable that she hasn't gotten out more than twice because she's so smart. When he put her in his car, she just sat there. She was probably excited to ride in a police car because she wants to be a police officer, and that was when I realized that she'd taken her boots off on the back porch, and I said, is she barefoot right now? And he said, yeah, she was barefoot and she didn't have a jacket on, and that was part of why people called. And then I said, and she made it all the way down there? And he said, yeah, she made it down to the highway, and that was with all these cars that were on the on-ramp trying to block her and stop her. That multiple cars had tried to block her way to keep her from getting on to the highway, and she was all the way down there. And so then we looked, because he asked how long she'd been missing for, and I said I thought I saw her about 5 minutes before we noticed she was gone. And he said, really, she's that fast? And so I brought it up on a security camera, and it was 7 minutes. It was 7 minutes that she was gone, and that she got down our street, down another street, across a bridge, and down the highway on-ramp. And a good distance. That girl needs to be in track when she's older. She did tell me she loves to run. She does love to run. I can hardly breathe. And that asthma inhaler obviously went through the washing machine and no longer works. That is the story. The flyers ended up working perfectly, I guess. I mean, as perfectly as something like that can work. I kind of want to curl up in a little ball.
Why is the door open?
What?
Why is the door open?
What door? It's gone. That means it wasn't locked. She was all the way down here. Oh my gosh, she was all the way down here. Where the fuck was she going? Is this where they found her?
Up high, now we climb. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes. Undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond dawn. A bigger scale, the world inhales as we go. I wouldn't want it any other way,
So for some reason, Patrick gets a Hello Kitty
He picked it.
for saying, okay, why is there a child next to me?
That's just weird.
I got my eye on you.
Oh, I love these ice cream cakes.
I can't wait to see what the one is going. I see it! I see it!
Without touching it. Sandy butt.
Let the what begin?
Lobotomy. What? Did you actually get a spoon for Tessie?
Yeah. I got this one for Tess.
Okay, so first should be Patrick's. So
Maggie, don't take the box. You might need it to put it away. To put it away. Can I have the box, please? Thank you. Come sit down.
Get the other part.
Oh, jeez, guys. I'm not getting the whole boat again. Part of it, though.
I hope I get the rest of the ball.
Okay, first of all, Tessie can get this part because she's Tessie.
Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes. Undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond
The recess queen? Yeah, it looks good. Oh my goodness, she looks angry.
Wait, that's not
I know, I'm getting it. Okay, ready?
Wait, tell me who's the author and illustrator.
Who's the author?
An illustrator.
Alexis O'Neill and Laura Haliska Beath. Okay, Mean Jean was recess queen and
A bat
very good.
I like.
This is your word. You got it. You got this.
Not that bat.
Very good.
She coloring all
Now
of
say, yep, she
these.
colors in all the second ones.
No, Sadie colors in.
I know, that's
all
the
of
second
these.
ones.
Yeah.
Can I
She
color
knows.
it?
You're gonna color in the third ones after Patch reads it to you.
How about I do the green one? Can I do the green
Oh,
one?
she's doing it fancy for you, Patch.
Can I do the green one? Can I do the You're doing purple.
So, if you have made it to here, you have made it through this very long day with me. I think I'm gonna go take a bubble bath because I'm exhausted. I can't remember the last time I've had a day that was this stressful. I hope that she never elopes again. I feel like that's not a realistic dream to have, but it's still the one that I have. Anyways, that's it for today, and I will see you tomorrow.